I recently drained this tank. Some people say, oh, you got to check this pressure relief valve. So I did. Now it's leaking. I tried to clear it by opening and closing it and doing all those tricks. Still didn't work. So I ordered this T&P valve from Amazon, temperature and pressure relief valve. This is what I got. It's actually by a company called Protec. What's important here is that you get the right pressure. So this says 150 psi and 210 degrees Fahrenheit. That's what you need to look for in a pressure relief valve. Here's a new valve. Here it says 150 psi, 210 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the correct rating. One of the first steps you need to make is to bring the water level down below the level of this pressure relief valve. The cold water is already turned off and this is still leaking out, so I'm just letting it leak, and then I may drain off a little bit more from the tank drain down here. Actually, one of the first steps you also need to make is to turn this to the pilot position so that we're sure the heat is not going to come on. So that's already drained off pretty well. So just for safe measure, I want to take a little bit more out. And since it's easy enough just to drain a little bit of water from the heater, that's going to make sure that it's going to be well below the level of the T&P valve. And the next step will be to take this down pipe here, get this off, and that should come off pretty easily, I think. There we go. There we go. That should come off. This has been a great tool over the years. There we go. That one's off. And now this should come out fairly easily. Oh yeah, very easy. So a little bit of water dripping out there. Well, that's interesting. You know what? I'm just going to put that back in for a minute, because that's something I had not expected. So because that happened, it seems like it's a good idea to drain some more off. I thought the water was going to be below this level. Now I can hear it's gurgling over here. So just let that run a little bit, and then let's see. Let's see what happens if I take this off again. Oh, it's still coming out there. So looks like I need to drain off enough so that we get the tank down low enough. I drained another container full down there, and hopefully this is going to be enough. Okay, yes, there we go. Now let's take a look at this. This is interesting. That one's actually shorter. This is the old one, and you can see there's all these deposits, all these mineral deposits all over this thing. And that would certainly, you know, here's the inside of here's the inside, if you can see that. Those mineral deposits would certainly clog up the valve here. So here's the new one. Now, interestingly, these come with the tape already on from the packet, so you don't need to worry about that. So I'm just going to screw this one in, and I believe we'll be done. But first of all, I just noticed something. Take a look inside here. So I can see some deposits in there. So I think I want to clear that out first. Wow, this stuff is, yeah, look at that. Well, I suppose there's only so much you can do. I can feel that there's a certain amount of this stuff on the inside. This might help just to clean this up just before putting this new valve back in. That's actually not bad. I'm about to install this new temperature and pressure relief valve, and incidentally, it's been about 9 years. This tank is about 9 years old, and this has never been changed before, so perhaps it's due. I know people have told me before that that you should always check these, and you know, these are actually a wear item that's supposed to be changed. This T&P valve is an important part of your water system and is to protect you. A valve in this condition is not going to be so effective, and if it sticks in the event of high pressure or high temperature, it's likely not to do its job. So this is an important maintenance item that you shouldn't ignore. Here we go. Now that's already tightened up, so I'm just going to bring this around so that it's in a good position to get the pipe underneath. Feel like that should take another turn for it to be firmly in place. There we go. That looks about right. Now I'm going to reconnect the existing discharge pipe. Might as well just clean this up a little bit. Now that this is installed, I'm going to turn the water pressure back on, and this time we shouldn't see anything coming out here. So if you can hear the water running there, it's filling up the tank. And of course we want to make sure there's nothing leaking around. I'm just going to test this, make sure it actually does release and it's not going to leak on me again. Well, that's interesting. It doesn't want to close. It's finally stopped. So one tip from that is to make sure that you have an empty bucket. It took me a while to get this thing to stop. So it finally did stop. Otherwise, we would have some more water on the floor. The next thing, of course, to do, I'm going to turn the gas on. All right. What we'll need to do next is go upstairs and get the air out of the system. And if you want to see a video on draining this water tank, then maybe you can click over here somewhere. See you next time.